I am Vera, born and raised right here in Amsterdam. And today I want to show you the Netherlands the way I see it.
Okay, so fun fact about me, I have never actually played football in my life. Not once, but I have cried watching it twice in public, because that is just what happens when you grow up Dutch and Oranje loses in the finals. Again, here's the thing about the Netherlands that nobody really talks about. This country is tiny, like embarrassingly tiny. You could drive across the whole thing in 2 hours, and yet we changed the way football is played forever. We built cities on water. We cycle through storms in heels like it is nothing. And somehow, we figured out how to actually enjoy life while the rest of the world is still stressing about it. So first, where exactly is the Netherlands? We are talking about a small country in northwestern Europe, right on the North Sea. We border Germany to the east, Belgium to the south, and the sea pretty much everywhere else. Our capital is Amsterdam, but our government actually sits in The Hague. Yes, we have 2 important cities, and we could not pick just one. Very Dutch of us. The country has about 17.9 million people. That is less than the city of Shanghai. And yet, we have the 17th largest economy in the world. Let that sink in. Now, about the name. Most people call it Holland, but that is technically wrong. Holland is just 2 provinces in the west. The whole country is called the Netherlands, which literally means lowlands. And that name is completely accurate. About 26% of the Netherlands sits below sea level. We basically built our country on water and said, fine, we will just deal with it. Those famous windmills, not just cute tourist props. They were literally pumping water out of the land for centuries. And today, we have a system of dikes, dams, and canals that engineers fly in from around the world just to study. All right, football. This is where it gets really good. The Dutch national team plays in bright orange, and when the Netherlands plays, the entire country goes orange. Streets, houses, bars, people's faces, literally everything turns orange. And before you ask, yes, orange is our national color. It comes from the royal house of Orange-Nassau. Nothing to do with Halloween, just Dutch royalty being a little extra. But let us talk about what makes Dutch football actually legendary. It is something called total football. In Dutch, total voetbal. It was developed in the 1970s by the legendary Ajax Amsterdam and the Dutch national team, under coach Rinus Michels. The idea was completely revolutionary. Every player on the field should be able to play every position. Defenders attack, forwards defend. The whole team moves as one fluid system. It was football as philosophy, and it changed the game forever. And the man at the center of it all, Johan Cruyff. Arguably the greatest Dutch player who ever lived. Ajax legend, Barcelona legend. He basically invented the way modern football is played. There is even a move named after him, the Cruyff turn, where you fake a pass and spin the other direction. Simple, elegant, deadly, very Dutch. The Dutch golden generation of the 70s reached 3 World Cup finals. They lost all 3, and somehow that makes the story even more dramatic. We call it Oranje. We love Oranje, even when it breaks our hearts. Now, if football is our passion, tulips are our brand. The Netherlands produces about 80% of the world's tulips. That is 4.3 billion bulbs a year. No, that is not a typo. Billion with a B. And here is a fun fact. Tulips are not originally Dutch. They came from Central Asia and Turkey, but we saw them, we loved them, and in the 1600s, we started an entire financial bubble over them. It was called Tulip Mania, one of the world's first recorded economic bubbles. People were trading tulip bulbs like they were crypto. A single bulb could sell for the price of a house. And then there are the canals. Amsterdam alone has 165 canals, more than Venice. There are over 1,000 bridges in the city. The entire canal ring was built in the 1600s during the Dutch Golden Age and is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The houses along the canals were built by merchants who wanted to show off their wealth. Notice how they are tall and narrow. That is because property tax was based on the width of your house. Classic Dutch efficiency. The Netherlands is a deeply social, democratic country. We have strong public health care, excellent education, and a robust social safety net. Taxes are high, and people largely accept that because they see what it buys: quality of life, security, infrastructure that actually works. Dutch culture values collective well-being over individual excess. There is even a saying for it. Doe maar gewoon, dan doe je al gek genoeg. It roughly translates to, just act normal. That is already crazy enough. Showing off is frowned upon, modesty is respected, which is the complete opposite of the American model, where bigger is better, more is more, and your net worth is basically your personality. Neither is entirely wrong, but they produce very different societies. America is consumer capitalism at full speed. The Netherlands is more like, what if we all just agreed on a reasonable quality of life and stopped competing about it? The result? Shorter work weeks, more vacation days, better work-life balance, and a population that consistently ranks among the happiest in the world. The Dutch are not cheap. They just refuse to be impressed by things that do not matter. And honestly, respect. So that is the Netherlands, a tiny, flat, very rainy country that invented modern football, built land out of the sea, let flowers take over their economy for a moment, cycles everywhere in perfectly normal clothes, and somehow figured out work-life balance before the rest of the world even knew that was something to figure out. I was born here. I grew up here. And I still learn something new about this place every single day. That is what I love about Amsterdam. It rewards the curious. If you want to see more of what life here actually looks like, not the postcard version, but the real version, make sure you are subscribed. I put out videos about this city every week, and I promise there is always something that surprises you. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and come with me for the next video.